Jake, there's nothing to do in your area. Trust me, I've heard that from so many people who live outside of the area. You're in the middle of California, it's Cowtown with just a bunch of agriculture. And I'm here to say that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, there are some incredibly unique and some of California's best cut gems here. So today we're cracking open 10 awesome things to do in Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado counties. We'll be talking about more unique things and not just things you'll find on TripAdvisor. So stick around for some added bonuses at the end. And if you're new, smash that subscribe button and let's dive in. Jake DeRosa here with the DeRosa Real Estate Team. As a resident of the greater Sacramento area for over 48 years and a broker for 23, we've helped a lot of families buy and sell real estate in this community. So if you have questions or comments, drop them in the comments section below, and I promise I'll be sure to answer them. And if you love our content, please do subscribe, throw us a like on our videos, and we promise to bring you value-packed information in the future. So let's jump in. First off, let's jump into the arts and history scene over here. The Crocker Art Museum is Sacramento County at 216 O Street. This isn't your average art stop. In fact, locals love it, but don't brag enough about it, and it often gets left out of the conversation about what to do around here. It's the oldest public art museum west of the Mississippi, started in 1885 by the Crocker family. And we're talking railroad wealth. You've got this really stunning Victoria mansion, creaky wood floors, stained glass, fused together with this modern wing that opened in 2010. Inside, it's got the world's best display of California art, hands down, plus one of the biggest collection of international ceramics in the whole United States. They've got art from Americas, Africa, Asia, Europe, and they've always got these awesome changing exhibits as well. Think everything from prints to pottery, and they're all about bringing stuff that's fun and interesting with a mix of big name artists as well as some up and coming talent too. Most of the shows stick around for like 2 to 4 months, so you've got to pop in pretty often. Make sure you check their website, but definitely a can't miss in the Sacramento area. Next, the underground tour of Old Sacramento. It's such a cool way to dive into the city's past. Back in the 60s, 1860s, Sacramento was actually right where the Sacramento and American rivers met. And every time it rained super hard or snow melted upstream, the city turned into a giant swamp. Back in 1862, when the monster floods came, some of the worst in the areas ever seen, streets were actually underwater. People were paddling boats where they used to walk, and the damage was insane. In 1862, they got to work and they actually jacked up the buildings, some by as much as 14 feet, using hand crank jacks and piling in tons of dirt to raise the streets. In the late 1860s, 70s, they actually pulled it off, and that's why Old Sacramento has these funky underground spaces now. So the tours kick off at the Sacramento History Museum on I Street for about an hour. These guides will take you through it all, talking to you about how the city pulled off this crazy feat just to dodge constant flooding. Every tour is a little different because the guides really mix it up. So you'll see stuff like excavated foundations, old brick walls, and hear stories about the gold rush days when Sacramento was a total madhouse. It's about half-mile stroll, so make sure you wear good shoes. Ground's uneven, and it's all weather dependent, so rain or shine. But trust me, it's a cool experience, and it'll take you back in time and perfect for anyone who loves history or just really a good adventure. So Drake's Brewing Company that came out of San Leandro, they actually opened the barn in October 2018, and you've got over 50 taps pouring everything from classics like their double IPA, 1500 Pale Ale, plus crazy barrel-aged sours and small batch brews you won't find anywhere else. They've got cocktails and wine too, and they actually added a cozy 838-seat cocktail bar. It's right by the river, so you get killer views of the Tower Bridge and the city skyline, perfect for a sunset pizza and beer sesh. All right, so next on the list is the River Fox train, and it's actually a really cool way to explore the scenic countryside, specifically in Yolo County. It's operated by the Riverfront Train Company, and the excursions combines a railroad historic experience with views of the Sacramento River and the surrounding farmlands. It runs on a 14-mile stretch of track originally built in 1911 by Northern Electric Company, which connected West Sacramento to Woodland back in the day. And it offered up 8 daily round-trip passenger trains until it ended in 1941. In 2003, Sierra Railroad Company took over, reviving those excursions under the Sacramento train banner, which later evolved into the Riverfront train we know today. And it's actually a sister operation to the famous Skunk train in Mendocino County. So you take off from the station in West Sac off County Road 117 in West Sac. It's about 15 minutes from downtown, and it chugs along at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. They have a slow pace. It's really deliberate, just to give you time to soak in the sights, enjoy your beverages. And they have different cars, from air conditioning indoor seating to open air options with observation decks. And it isn't just one ride, which is really cool. It's a collection of experiences tailored to different vibes and seasons. Most trips are round trip, lasting about 2 to 2.5 hours, perfect for a half-day outing. Now, one of the trips is a Riverfront refresher. This is the go-to for adults looking to unwind. It features an onboard bar with local wines, craft beers, mimosas, canned cocktails, and seltzers. They also have the Riverfront pedal-powered rail bikes. These are cool custom-built four-wheel vehicles with electronic assist, so you don't have to be a fitness buff. And these two-seaters allow you to cruise the same 10-mile route at your own pace up to 23 miles per hour. Don't think I'd ever get that high. With a midway stop for a snack and a stretch. The train leans into holiday super heavy and special events. They have the Easter Egg Express that brings egg hunts and a bunny visit. Pumpkin train includes pumpkin picking and family activities. The Christmas train is a fan favorite. Festive decor, hot chocolate, cookies, elves, Santa, and kids writing letters and playing games. There's also the Old Vine Express, which is a romantic tasting ride with 5 guided pours plus a full glass. And they even have a murder mystery train. And there's a bunch more things you can check out. And you can get more information on the riverfronttrain.com website. So check them out. Really cool experience there. All right, let's go into hiking Lake Clementine. So this is what we're going to kick off with. It's off of Forest Hill Road. It's about 5 miles east of Auburn, roughly 40 minutes from Sacramento. So this is a 4-mile round trip gem that literally goes around the North Fork American River. And it's a waterway that's been actually there since the gold rush days when miners were panning for gold. So it's a really historic area. The trailhead's unmarked and it's easy to miss. So you got to be careful. Look for a gravel pullout near the Lake Clementine Road turnoff. Keep going and the trail opens up to Lake Clementine itself. It's a stunning deep green reservoir cradled by steep cliffs and rolling hills. It was actually created in 1939 when the Army Corps of Engineers dammed the North Fork, and it's fed by snowmelt. So the water's pretty chilly and clear, perfect for a quick dip if you're brave. But it's those cliffs that tower up to over 100 feet in some spots, and it's just dotted with scrub oak. You'll clutch the glinch of fish kind of darting in and out. Love that because it's so clear, and you might even see some kayaks out there in the distance. So the lake's edge is quiet, no motorized boats here, which is really cool because it's super quiet. And it's just, you hear the nature, which I absolutely love. Check it out and tell me what you think about it. So you're thinking about relocating to the greater Sacramento area. Well, I've got just the thing for you. Our team has actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research. And I've linked it down below from top employers, best hospitals, best schools, and a ton of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part about this guide is it's 100% free. That's right, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope this helps. So next up is paddleboarding on the quiet side of Lake Natoma in Sacramento County. It's actually a really awesome escape, especially when you launch from that Nimbus Flat off of Hazel Avenue near Gold River. And then you head north. This route actually steers you clear of the motorized boat traffic that tends to churn up in the southern end of the lake, closer to the dam and busier access point. So the paddle itself is pretty easygoing. Lake Natoma is a regulated reservoir, so currents are pretty minimal, and winds tend to stay tame on this northern end because you're tucked away from the open expanse down south. It's not a long haul, maybe a couple miles to the upper reaches near the old Negro Bar launch, but it feels timeless. Really, the quiet really amplifies everything as you're getting close and you're getting away from the humanness. From splash of fish, I like to bring my pole out there, throw a couple lures in the water. So really killer area out there. And one of the things is it's the sense of being in on the kind of a little secret. You know, you got the wakeboarders and jet skis that dominate the lower lake. This stretch really feels like you're alone. Early mornings are prime. You know, mist hovers over the water and the sunrise paints really pretty sunrise on there. I've actually done some steelhead fishing in different parts of the American there. So really pretty and beautiful area to check out. Next up is the Confluence in Auburn, California. It's striking in really historically rich location within the Auburn State Recreation Area. It's where the North Fork and Middle Fork of the American River meet up. So the elevation of the confluence is about 500 feet, where the two forks of the American River meet in a Y shape before flowing westward as a single river towards Folsom Lake. It's incredibly beautiful. The surrounding terrain is classic Sierra foothills with steep hillsides, you know, dotted with oaks, manzanita, and pines, interspersed with rocks and different plant species. So really a pretty area. It is an area that has deep roots actually in the California's gold rush history, which began in 1848 just downstream at Sutter's Mill. In 1849, prospectors came down here to the river's forks, drawn by placer gold washed down from the mountains. So they were panning this area like crazy. And reaching the confluence is pretty straightforward. From Auburn, take Highway 49 south access across the American River Canyon, and you'll spot parking areas near Old Forest Hill Road or along the riverbank. It's about a mile from downtown Auburn, which makes perfect because you can actually cruise after down there to grab some things to eat. Parking can fill up pretty quick, especially on weekends or holidays. There's a $10 a day use, and fee facilities are minimal. Vaulted toilets are available, but there's no drinking water, so come prepared. Bring water, bring snacks, all the different things that you need for if you're going to hike out there. Now, it's a trailhead for ASRA's network of paths, including the Confluence Trail, the Stagecoach Trail, and connectors to the Forest Hill Divide Loop. It's really a laid-back vibe with a mix of mountain bikers, hikers, kayakers, and just families enjoying the water, or sometimes you even see people panning for gold. It's a really cool place to go, so make sure you check that out. Next up is hiking in Hidden Falls in Placer County. It's a fantastic outdoor experience in the scenic Sierra Nevada foothills, specifically within Hidden Falls Regional Park near Auburn. This is a 1,200-acre park nestled between Auburn, Lincoln, and Newcastle area. It is a really popular destination for hikers, cyclists, equestrians, and nature enthusiasts. Hidden Falls Regional Park has over 30 miles of multi-use trails, with the proposed expansion aiming to double that to 60 miles. Trails vary in length and difficulty, kind of catering from everyone from casual walkers to seasoned hikers. The park's namesake, Hidden Falls, is really cool. It's a 30-foot waterfall along Deadman Creek, and it's accessible via several routes. So a popular option here is the Hidden Falls Trail, a 3.3-mile loop, rated as easy to moderate with about 500-ish feet of elevation gain. The trail starts at the parking area on Poppy Trail and goes back down, switchbacks through all these things to Deadman Creek, Whiskey Diggin's Bridge, and then it gets you to the Hidden Falls Access Trail, where you reach the falls, and there's an observation deck, and then the return loop comes back through a bunch of different areas. So it's kind of a cool scenery. There's a mix of shaded oaks, woodlands, and open sunny stretches. And for a shorter hike, you can do an out and back to Hidden Falls, roughly 1.2 miles each way, though the incline back to the parking lot can be quite a bit of a workout. Longer options like the Hidden Falls Trail Loop, which is up to 15.2 miles, just weaves through additional trails like Great Egret, Golden Eagle, River Otter Loop, and there's just a bunch of different challenging terrain and diverse scenery. So creeks, bridges, sweeping views from the Sacramento Valley to the Sutter Butte. The trails range from wide to gravel fire roads to narrower single tracks and some steep sections and rocky patches. So you want to be a little bit more advanced if you're gonna jump on that. And sturdy shoes are definitely a must. The falls themselves are pretty impressive in spring or after rain when the water is cascading over those rocks. In summer, they kind of dwindle, but still offer a pretty cool spot to check out. There's observation decks at Hidden Falls and Canyon View Falls, which is another waterfall in the park, and just a lot of vantage points to check out. Make sure you bring a camera or your iPhone. Nowadays, they take great pictures, but get some pictures, check it out, enjoy the wildlife. And there's often downloadable maps. You want to make sure you bring that because the cell service is limited out there. And then also parking is a key consideration. Reservations are required on weekends, holidays, and peak days like spring break. It costs about $8 online via the Placer County website. Spots sell out quickly, so plan ahead. Sometimes they sell out days in advance. Weekdays are typically free and don't require reservations, so that's pretty cool. But it's just a really great area to check out and a nice outdoorsy area. So the park is actually open sunrise to sunset. Early starts are ideal. The hike to Hidden Falls takes about 1.5 hours to 2 hours for the short loop, and just longer for extended routes depending on what you're wanting to do. Make sure you bring plenty of water. There's no potable water on site. You want snacks, sunscreen, and insect repellent. Ticks and poison oak are common, and dogs are welcome, but you got to keep them leashed up. So really cool place, really cool trail. Check it out and let me know what you think on that. All right, another cool spot is checking out the Marshall Gold Discovery State Historic Park. It's actually located in El Dorado County, and it's a really significant historical site meant to commemorate the discovery of gold in 1848. So it's right along the South Fork of the American River in the small town of Coloma. The park preserves the location where James W. Marshall actually first found gold flakes on January 24th, 1848, while working for John Sutter. The park has about 576 acres and offers a historical landmarks, natural beauty, and really a lot of educational experiences, which is really cool. At the heart is there's a replica of Sutter's Mill, the sawmill where Marshall made his discovery. The original mill deteriorated long ago, but the reconstruction is really cool. It's based on historical records, archaeological findings, and just really gives people a tangible sense of what the site's past was like. So then you have the gold discovery site itself, which is marked, allows us to check it out, stand where the rush actually began. The park also features the Marshall Monument, which is a statue honoring James Marshall. It's overlooking the valley, which serves as kind of a tribute to his role in this time of the gold rush era. And there's several preserved and restored structures along the park, which offers kind of a glimpse into the mid-19th century life. Some of those include buildings like the Coloma Schoolhouse, St. John's Church, various cabins and shops that reflect the boomtown atmosphere of the gold rush era. The Parks Museum, the Gold Discovery Museum, and the Visitor Center also provide a lot of details about the exhibits on the gold rush, Marshall's life, and the broader social and environmental impacts of the period, including the effects on the Native American populations, as well as the landscape. So a lot of interesting things that you can check out. But also beyond that, the park is great for outdoor activities. You can pan for gold in the American River. There's actually some chans and you can grab them and pan that. There's hike trails like the Monroe Ridge Trail or explore kind of the scenic riverside. The park also holds living history events such as the Gold Rush Days, where you get costume people to reenact the life of the 1840s, complete with a demonstration of period crafts and trades. Its location, it's about 40 miles northeast of Sacramento, so it makes it an accessible day trip for those who want to jump out there and who are interested in California's past. Just a real cool experience to check out California and learn a little bit more about the past there. Next up is checking out the El Dorado winery scene, located in El Dorado County. It's in the Sierra foothills, about an hour from Sacramento and South Lake Tahoe. This region is actually an up-and-coming region, has ties to the gold rush, and it's a notable wine-producing area. Has over 70 wineries, most of which are small, family-owned operations. The area offers a laid-back, authentic wine country experience, which is really distinct from more famous regions like Napa Valley, which have seen to become commercialized. And the wineries benefit from the territory, which is shaped by the elevations ranging from 1,200 to 3,500 elevation, cool nights, and the Sierra Nevada breezes. They produce mountain-grown wines with intense fruit flavors, balanced acidity, and gentle tannins. Over 2,000 acres of vine, growing more than 100 grape varietals, with Zinfandel being the most planted, followed by Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Merlot, and Barberas. All these different flavors reflecting the region's diversity. There's a lot of wineries that trace their roots to the Gold Rush era, with some like Boger. And for instance, it's famous for their Barbera, having won numerous awards out there. Others like Skinner Vineyards connect to pioneer legacies, while Miraflores Winery stands out for its food and wine pairings, earning accolades from Wine Spectator. The El Dorado Winery Association highlights events like the annual Passport Wine Festival. Really cool event. Visitors can enjoy barrel tastings, food pairings, and meet winemakers across 20 venues. The tasting rooms are very cozy. They're in historic settings with fireplaces to modern spaces with vineyard views, really often on charming family-run estates. Wineries like Lava Cap at 2,700 feet emphasize the volcanic soil's impact on their lush wines, while Sierra Vista is celebrating 50 years in 2024, focus on the Rhone-style blends. The region's appeal lies in its quality wines, affordability, and biggest thing, unpretentious vibe. You go to Napa, things like that, it's gotten so rough as far as that goes. For more details, visit sites like eldoradowines.org. They list events, winery specifics, and anything else you want to know about them. So really check out those wineries. So let's talk about the bonus for number one is coming in with those 4x4s and dirt bikers. It is Prairie City. It's just 20 miles east of downtown, and it has 836 acres of trails for dirt bikes, ATVs, 4x4s. Really cool place. I've gone 4x4ing when I used to have my CJ7, and it's only $5 to get in. And then there's the Republic, Sacramento Republic FC. It's our indie soccer squad. They play at the Health Park, hopefully moving to downtown here soon. So that's going to be pretty cool. You also have fishing, Jenkinson Lake, Sly Park, Trout and Bass. There's so many lakes around here. It's incredible. And then finally, a well-known American River Bike Trail, 32 miles of paved bike from Discovery Park to Folsom. And it's got an incredible vibe to it and a lot of opportunity to go check out beautiful areas. So there's a lot to do here, and that didn't even scratch the surface. If you have questions, want to know more about our area, things to do, I could give you so many more. Appreciate you checking it out. Give us a like, give us a follow. Talk soon.